All right, here we go. Nelson with a quick dump decides to get the rush out of her system and lets the forwards go to work. And you know what? Before the game, I was telling Ann and a couple, I said, I think this team's going to be pretty good tonight. Yes, it's Burnsville, Apple Valley, Eastview Co-op. But I think they're going to be pretty solid. From what I understand, I had lunch with a gentleman today. He said they're an older group, and most of their girls that are solid are from the Apple Valley area. You sprinkle in a few Burnsville girls, but I think he mentioned last name of Defa. So I wouldn't be surprised if they give us everything we can handle tonight. As Hoffman tries to get in the zone, she makes a smart play and dumps it into the far corner to get some fresh legs on the ice. Burnsville coming around now. They'll get an exit, and we've got some speed coming across neutral ice. Burnsville with an opportunity. Shot off the post and back behind the net. First opportunity going to Burnsville this evening. Gary Harker rink. Historic looking rink, a lot of wood. Fun arena to play in. I'm not sure the girls identify that, but the parents can appreciate being in an older style rink. As I was talking earlier, it's too bad these communities die, especially when you're talking girls hockey. It's such a cool rink, and you know the community was thriving with the Braves and the tourney most years as I was growing up watching hockey in the mid 80s, late 80s. But it is what it is, and they're making the best of it. They throw a couple co-ops together at the youth level to get up to speed so they can compete in games like this, and you have to love that aspect of youth hockey when communities come together to give their kids, whether it's girls or boys, an opportunity to compete against the best. The best, one of them being KK McGarvey. She races across and throws a hard shot on net, and that's a pretty good snipe. Goalie saw it the whole way and nonchalantly threw that in the back of the mitt. On that save, the goalie looked confident and comfortable. Back to the point, that's past Helfrich. Looking towards shoot, goes back the other way, tries to dump deep, that's intercepted. Only Prasada to return the favor and intercept and throw it back into the corner. McGarvey now digging. Back to shoot, collects it on the backhand, gets to her forehand, shot that's deflected right past Sauter, back behind the net. Burnsville closes quickly to get that out of the area. Burnsville now across neutral ice. Pass shoot, Nelson's there for support. Nice position there. She gets it up to Sauter. Sauter has McGarvey. Just waited a little bit too long there. Nelson tries to stick her off the puck. Nelson now collecting. Nelson with the new twig as she broke her stick earlier at school today, so she's playing with a 55 flex. She's all grown up. If you remember the movie Swingers. Heinmiller chasing, forces her off the puck. Heine now onto the ice. Burnsville now trying to get it to the center, and that goes past everybody into the corner. Hoffman near boards, trying to pop it out. That's popped back in. Tip, that goes wide. Sweetser now chasing in the far corner. Burnsville collects, shot goal. Wheaton was on her knees a little bit. I think she might have been better positioned standing upright on that as the puck was in the corner. Burnsville took that opportunity, and it was a great shot. Either way, could have maybe had two goalies in net and now they found home. That's a shot that you like. I mean, it's not a shot that you like when it goes against us, but I mean, she picked the spot, sniped it, and a little ting and in the back of the net. And Burnsville, as I mentioned, is going to be a pretty tough opponent tonight. They have all the momentum early. Edina's had, one shot with McGarvey entering the zone. That's tipped wide. Otherwise, Burnsville is really applying most of the pressure, has most of the zone time. Heinmiller now racing into the zone. She's forced off the puck. Does a nice job, but that's a better job by the Burnsville D to pound it back onto the ice, and Helfrich says, try knocking that one down. Looks like Burnsville has probably 4 or 5 skaters that you're going to have to make sure that you get back on and really respect their speed as they come across neutral ice. What do you think, Ann? they're quick. They're fast to the puck. Williamson now behind Wheaton. Gives way to Hoffman. She gets that out of the zone by a foot. Burnsville throws it back in. Williamson collects. Up to Carter. Morgan, I think, with her first touch this evening. Morgan now off the boards, chasing. Into the corner, still chasing. Morgan trying to peel it off the board. She's met by two Burnsville skaters. Nelson with a nice hold there. Touches it back into the corner. That was a good hold. It's an extra long stick, so that stick with the 55, it's a little longer, just a tiny bit. It's by, I think, maybe 2 inches. Yeah. Well, we got 8:48 remaining, 1-0 hockey game. The hometown Braves, or should we call them Blaze? I still like to call them Braves, but we'll call them Blaze tonight. Well, they used to be the Braves back in the day. It's not politically correct anymore. But the Warlord are still the Warriors.
The Blackhawks are still the
Blackhawks are the Blackhawks. Warlord, that will not change. They had a group that met with, whatever leadership group, and they said absolutely not.
I think it would be an honor.
Well, that's what they said. It was an honor because the name Warroad, back in the day, it was a road that I think the Ojibwe and Sioux, or vice versa, there was a road that they took to go to war. And so that's where you get the name War Road from. Yeah.
Folks are getting a little trivia.
Yeah, a little trivia. Dwight Gooden, Cy Young years, 24 and 4th, 1.53 ERA and 276 strikeouts for any baseball fans out there. That was my favorite player back in the day before I found out he was getting into all the extracurricular activities. Still brought a lot of heat. Burnsville now winds and swinging a miss out front, and that goes into the corner. Edina fortunate that didn't connect. Nice hold there. Shot, save, rebound, and that's going to go to Williamson. Tries to get up to Sauter, and she does. Sauter now near boards, trying to get over McGarvey. McGarvey now coming across center ice. Edina with Tonka on their minds tonight, or is Burnsville just seeing the green and saying, hey, this is kind of like maybe a level of what we would play in a state tournament or a tournament final. And that's not unique. I mean, that's what you're going to get that effort from a lot of teams. Back to the point. That's deflected off Hoffman. She goes flying. Burnsville, nice sportsmanship there. Just wipes her stick back to Hoffman. Usually a girl will whack that into the corner. Shoot now coming across neutral ice. Heinen collects. Heinen now trying to get it deep. She's met by a Blaze. Burnsville now cross neutral ice. Everyone's on sides, force wide. Helfrich watching, shot, rebound, and that's wiped away by Shoot as she's able to get it out, and Burnsville will have to collect near neutral ice back close to their own zone. Heinen digs it, stabs it up to Hoffman. Hoffman says enough of this. We got to get off. We got to get some fresh skaters. We got to get something going with 6:30 remaining. The way to do that is get the freshest legs that you've got, get it into the zone, and go to work. Burnsville now coming across neutral ice. A little bit of speed, but Sweetser does a nice job of cutting her off. Coming over from the other D position. Back to Nelson. Nelson has a couple options here. She can rush it. She can go up to Morgan. She does. That's collected by Morgan. Morgan now dancing, trying to get it over to Carter. Carter now dangle, trying to get it deep, but that's going to be collected by Burnsville. And that's going to be touched by Morgan, only for Burnsville to take away. Burnsville fights off a little bit of a hook. She's met by Carter and Morgan. 2 on the puck for each. Spits to a third, overlooking the play. Nice hold by Sweetser. Touch it back in. Burnsville whacking it back the other way. Here comes Fitzgerald flying across the ice. Little backhand into the zone, into the corner. Morgan now digging, trying to get it to the front, but Burnsville does a nice job of cutting her off. Physical play bumps Morgan off the puck. Burnsville now trying to peel it off the far boards. A lot of stick action going on over there. Burnsville able to come away with it, looking for a pass. Nice collection there. She pounds it down onto the ice. And we'll have an offsides by probably a skate. We'll get a whistle with 5:21 remaining. Well, I tell you what, Burnsville's D is doing a great job of not only holding, but they're doing a nice job of collecting the puck before it gets deep. So the athletes are on the ice. The athleticism is there. The hand-eye is there. There's some speed. Goalie hasn't been tested yet, but all in all, on paper, they look like a pretty decent team, and they're holding true to form. Williamson dumps it in. Williamson on a pinch. Burnsville able to get past her. They'll have a 2-on-1. Goal. And like I said, there's 4 or 5 girls on the ice that when they get across neutral ice, that maybe not 5, but certainly 4, that you're going to have to, well, really treat them like they got a blue sweater on, whether it's a Woodbury or Taka player. I mean, they've got some talented girls. So they're an older team, and they're coming out firing. Puck loose in the slot. Heinen now. She needs to just get it and rip it. Just got to rip it. You got to get that shot and rip it. You have to identify Hoffman going to the net. It's easier said than done, but in a game like this where there's not a lot of action, we got to see how good this goalie is. Yeah, we got to see how confidently McGarvey had a shot, and she looked confident in gloving it. But I'd like to see a few more in that paint area just to see how she moves and how jittery or unjittery she looks in trying to make some of those saves. Heinmiller up to Hoffman. Hoffman says, you know what? I heard some commentating about throwing out, and I think that's a good play. You're going to get it deep either way. Throw it on net. You never know. We saw that in Cabin Fever Classic, where we threw 2 on net and they found the back of the net that had no business finding the back of the net. Nelson intercepts. Got to shoot that puck. Got to take the shot. That was a good opportunity for her just to rip one. You don't get it. You don't get the puck that often with space right there. At least not tonight. Well, they're doing a great job. They're fast to the puck. So I think if we get it, in that top of the circle, if we're fortunate to have time to unleash one, then we can talk about, are we able to get in front of the eyes or, crash the net. But, so far we have really one good shot from McGarvey, and, Hoffman threw one on to, test the skill set of the tender. But other than that, nothing really going. Fitzgerald trying to change that, though, as she enters.
So would you say that all these girls are probably like 6 years?
Yep, most of them. And the core of the solid ones are from, the Apple Valley. That's just some intel I got over at lunch today. Nice play by Williamson. Saved by Wheaton. Squared up to the plate, nice there. Didn't give him anything to shoot at. That's a big save. 2-0, right? You're going on 3-0 2 minutes, and that's a completely different deal, but it's a big save as Fitzgerald outlets to Morgan. Morgan and Forrester now entering. Nice little toe drag there. Shot off the post, and that's going to go into the corner for McGarvey to collect. That's about as good as a move as you're going to see tonight. She undressed her pretty well. Oh, yeah. Yep. And then picked a spot, too. So, yeah, did it go in? No, well, obviously it did not. But it wasn't in the gut.
That's right.
It wasn't in the chest protector. It was probably 2 inches from getting Edina's first goal. And that's misplayed a little bit. So, Heinmiller now has Halfrich. Halfrich looking for Sauter. Sauter now entering. Up to McGarvey. McGarvey trying to create some space. Taken down. We'll have a first penalty of the night. Wheaton's got to get off. She identifies that. Coaches call her off. So that's going to be a very important call, especially if we can capitalize. Got to get her unit. And we've had some very good success, but we've had some times where we've let the short-handed ones too, and I think Burnsville has a speed where if you don't respect them in their zone, you got to identify that. Shot from the point, tip, rebound, up to Sauter, loose in the slot. Morgan now. trying to get it back to Shoot. Shoot trying to get it back to Morgan. Morgan now controlling, trying to get to the slot. That's deflected back behind the net. Fitzgerald now putting on the brakes. Her and Carter right next to each other. That's trying to get back to the point. And Burnsville is trying to get a shorty opportunity. And that'll get out of the zone. We've got just under a minute left in the power play. Trying to catch him in a change as Shoot comes across neutral ice. She bumped off the puck, and she's got to go out of the zone here, and Sauter's going to have to try to hold. She does. That's deflected. Burnsville closes on that. Far board action now. Fitzgerald coming over. Loosen the slot, couple whacks at it, and it's going to be a whistle. 27 seconds, that's the first real opportunity on that power play, so we'll take it, especially with 27 seconds left, to see if we can get another one. And that'll do it. The Trek down 35 south. Yeah, so we did get all those shots at the end. So the official scorekeeper has Edina with 4 shots in a period, and I think that's accurate. She had 6 for Burnsville. I think it's closer to 9 or 10. She walked in late, and I think Burnsville had a few shots early. So I think shots in the first period, we'll call it, 10-4. Collision. Heinmiller entering. Heinmiller trying to get it over to the slot. Backhand. That's a nice save there. So couldn't play that any better. Padded that to the corner. And they'll try to get it clear, and that'll go down the length of the ice, and the power play will be over. Edina will have to play it as icing's waved off, with Sweetser grabbing it behind Wheaton. Trying to get up to the boards to Heinmiller. Heinmiller now over to McGarvey. McGarvey entering. Wide, looking for one of those lasers. Centering pass, and that was a little too hard. that would have been a heck of a collection and hammer home. Sure, yeah. She was going so fast. I think she wanted to pull the trigger on it, but she was just forced too wide. She's like, well, if I can't pull the trigger, I'm rifling this sucker through the paint. What's up? Shoot it. Shoot. Well, you know what? That was right in the gut, and I'm surprised the goalie left that rebound. So, you know, I think we get a couple more shots like that, whether it's from our forwards or D. I think there's going to be an opportunity to do some scrambling in the paint. And if you look at the opportunities we've had late, McGarvey had a pretty decent one, but Morgan's had the best one. And Wheaton comes up big. And if the save in the first period wasn't big, that is just a little bit bigger. So that is, again, to get down 3-0, obviously, we've done it. We came back against Mankato down 3-0, but you certainly don't want to put yourself in that position. Shot, rebound, loose, still loose. It's in a sea of skates, people digging at it. Loose goal, up and back behind the net. Thought I saw that hit the back of the net. And that stick to the corner. Well, the one thing is for sure, the goaltender's got some technique. She's not going to be perfect tonight, but she's comfortable making the right play, getting that puck out of trouble. Well, listen, outside of a few, speed demons from Burnsville getting loose, I mean, Edina's had some opportunities that have been very close. Nelson up to Sauter, over to McGarvey. McGarvey, one to beat, and she beats her. Look for a laser, wind, swing, and a miss on a breaking ball. That goes into the corner. Boy, she wanted that one. Shot, save. Nice play by Wheaton. That's a nice play. Get it over to Sauter, not take the face off in the zone. That's a next level play right there. That shows that she's thinking as the puck's coming to her, which is tough, right? You gotta think, but then you also have to concentrate on making the save on a bouncing puck. So that's fun. That's fun to see, actually. It's pretty neat. We got some speed coming back the other way. Goal. That's what I said before the game. I said these girls, they're going to have 4 or 5 skaters that absolutely you're going to need to respect. Yeah, they have a Burnsville, Apple Valley, what Eastview or East, whatever it is, name, but they will give you all you can handle from a compete level.
Who are they?
What's that? I don't know what district they're in, but they have girls collected from a pretty wide area. And how many you need? I mean, they're rolling 10. So you think about that. You need 10 skaters. Well, Burnsville is not, Rice, Minnesota. There's families out here yet. There's ice time for these girls to skate and be engaged and fall in love with the game. So it'll be interesting to see how much energy they have in the second part of this period into the third period with 10 skaters. I always make the argument that, these are kids. Like if you had 10 skaters, you're fine. You go hard, you get off, you go hard. We're playing 14, 15 minute periods. Yeah, 3 lines would be good. 4 lines probably can go harder, longer, but you get the right 10 skaters, they can create a lot of problems. Williamson now back behind Wheaton. Burnsville trying to take her off the puck. Fitzgerald comes over to help out. Fitzgerald now up to Morgan. Morgan now enters his zone, has Carter streaking towards the net, tries to go between the skates, throws it on, and that's covered up. We'll have a face-off with just under 9.5 remaining. Well, at this point in the game, I always like to say, let's just get one. Let's just get this next one. Two on one. Fitzgerald helping out. Hits Nelson into the corner. No wings up there. That's deflected as Fitzgerald did a nice job getting up there. Somebody had to get up there, and Fitzgerald did. Otherwise, that was going to be a clear shot into some traffic in front of Wheaton. Burnsville now trying to dangle, taking out the puck by Carter. Thrown back into the zone. Nelson collects. Let's see if they can catch him in a little bit of a change. Off to Carter. That was a nice pass. A little sauce right on the tape. Nice hold by Sweetster. Forster now. Backhands, trying to get it to the area in front of the net. That's collected by Garvey in the corner. Centering pass. That doesn't make it. Burnsville is going to flip it right into Weary and says, hey, we know you're not playing tonight, but you want a little action. Hits Weary right in the shoulder. I think Weary looked at him and was like, what did I do? What did I do to deserve that? So we'll face off back in the zone. So Edina getting away with one a little bit, but in all reality, that was going to go to the end of the ice anyways for an icing, so the result's the same. But, I think that's the first time we've seen Burnsville purposely get rid of that puck on an ice due to, some tired legs. So, we'll see if that is a common practice as they maybe wear down a little bit. McGarvey trying to split a few. McGarvey. I like McGarvey all over the ice. Sometimes there's nobody that takes her spot in the center, right? I mean, she's in the corner right now, so sometimes someone doesn't replace that vacant area. I think as we get a little better job identifying that, then we might get an extra goal or two in a few games. It won't be moons different, but nice play by Halpert to touch it up to Heinen. Heinen now touching it up to Hoffman. Hoffman now forced wide. Hoffman trying to peel out the boards. Burnsville trying to come away with it. And for the first time, I see Burnsville's legs just not as fast to the puck. And we are about exactly halfway through this hockey game. So that's got to be advantage McGarvey. That's got to be advantage Fitzgerald. That's got to be advantage Hoffman. That's got to be advantage Morgan. That's got to be advantage Heinmiller. Heinen. All the girls that have the need for speed. And that just goes wide. That was a dangle. Nice save there. Errant pass goes through Hoffman. Back to the D. Misplays it. Heinen's got to wait a little bit to make sure everybody was on sides. Puck flopping around a little bit, held by Sweetser, dumps it in. Here comes Fitzgerald off the bench. Fitzgerald now trying to make something happen. Morgan trying to get it off the boards, can't. Intercepted by Carter. Carter to the slot. Morgan crashing. Burnsville strong on the puck. Gets it up near board. Sweetser now trying to get into hold. Does to Carter. Carter backhand. That's wiped away. Back to Williamson. Williamson throws it back into the corner. Morgan to collect. Morgan now wraparound attempt, and that's saved. I mean, that was got to be. I was going to say that's got to be a goal because. Yeah, I was thinking as I saw it, I said, if she saved that, that's the closest wraparound to not go in that I've seen. So where does that start? That starts with Sweetser holding, Carter getting a shot into the corner. It then has Williamson shoving it back into the corner with Morgan collecting the wraparound. So, I mean, a team goal all around for sure. And now Edina can start thinking about, like, how excited should we be tonight? Like, it's a 2-goal game. You take your Tuesday night, and you get hit in the mouth early. You see speed that we didn't see that speed all weekend. I mean, nobody was beating us like that all weekend. I mean, they had the ability to, but we haven't seen anybody get behind us like that for a while. Forrester trying to get it over to Sauter, kept in by Shoot. Goaltender escorts that to the near boards. Nelson trying to get over to Sauter. Sauter collects. Sauter dumps and Chase. And Darby's like, I'm trying to help you out a bit. And Burnsville comes away with it, trying to go north. Shoot doesn't fall for that trick. Go. 3-on-2 hockey. Shoot into the zone. Dangle. End board action. Shoot gathering. Centering pass. That's collected by Burnsville. Nelson whacks that back into the corner. That's collected by Burnsville. Shot on net. Rebound. It's a rebound that you normally wouldn't see off a shot like that. Burnsville tired, asked to dump it to get an ice, and just over 4 remaining here in the second period. We've got 3-1 hockey game. Burnsville with a little stretch pass into the zone. Just couldn't connect as she was streaking towards the slot area. Edina doing a nice job getting it out after that opportunity from Burnsville. Heinmiller battling. Heinmiller trying to touch it up. That's held at neutral ice by Burnsville. Helfrich now trying to get it over to Hoffman. That's a nice collection there. It's a good pass and it's a good collection. Just off Heinen's stick as she was trying to make an acrobatic play. Williamson with a hold. That's going to get back behind the net for Heinen to chase. Burnsville does a nice job of putting on the brakes. Heinen does a better job taking it away. Heinen now battling. Throws her down to the ground like a rag doll. And we'll have another icing with just over 3. So Burnsville's doing all the icing. We're getting most of the zone time. Burnsville is entering the zone with some speed. That's where their opportunities are coming from right now, but they don't have the legs to be operating the zone and matching our speed as we try to get them off the puck. So that's the landscape of the game right now.
You think we're going to turn this around?
I think we got to get a really hard shot here. Tipped, loose, still loose. Yeah, I think, watching the game, with them just wanting to ice the puck, yeah, it's going to take some face-offs. It's going to be, what can you do with it? Jump. Nope, Wheaton comes up big. Boy, we give up a lot of breakaways. Not tonight, but like I said, we don't have to be. Reese has had, I think, 3. I think Hoffman's had 2 or 3 breakaways this year. I'm trying to think who else. Ellison's gotten loose to the net, but you wouldn't call them breakaways. That she has to beat a D, with very room to move, little room to move. Nelson's tired. Smart play, dump it in, see if you can get a bounce. Burnsville wisely gets that out of there. They knew what they were dealing with. They had some fresh legs chasing and negate the ice as it was gently shoved down the other way. McGarvey now hard off the boards. McGarvey, I like to see her keep that one. McGarvey's so good at getting into that center ice. Just one little tiny cross and she gets loose coming down the right side, and that's where she has most of her goals this year on those rushes, coming down from the right side with the snipe. And we have a net that, did she hit the net? Helfrich is tough as they come. She's as tough as they come. She's back. She's a softball player too, I think, isn't she? Yeah, I think she does. So these girls are always tough. That's a shot off a face-off that Wheaton steers aside. Tell you what, I mean, at this point, you know, Wheaton's probably been our best player on the ice. Seeing the puck well, making some nice plays, not, you know, having the puck froze, and that'll be the second period of hockey. We got some work to do. All right, Heinen on the draw, hits her skate. Heinmiller comes over to pick it up. Shoot grabs that. Shoot now up the near boards, and I'm gonna get a little excited tonight because I think we're gonna have to get a little excited from the commentary standpoint. Nelson back, fights her off the puck. Says, take that, this is a new period, and we're looking to start it off with a bang. As Shoot now comes across neutral ice, gets up to Hoffman. Hoffman off her stick, that's gotta be collected. Yep, those are big, you gotta collect that. Because if she does, she's off to the races. Like, she had a step. And that's what's so fun about Reese, because she's in the right spot all the time. She gets more of those looks. And it's so fun to hold your breath on because she's so quick. Burnsville with an opportunity, shot goal. So we got 4-1 hockey game, 13 minutes remaining, 13 and 5 seconds to be exact, and we're in the same spot as we were a while ago. As if we get the next one, we get it back to a 2-goal game. And it's always about getting the next one, whether you're down 3 or up 3 or down 4, up 4. Hockey can turn like that. I mean, a quick face-off here and a goal and another play, and it's tightening up on the white bench. Morgan collects, throws it to the paint, and the goaltender pounces on it. Morgan thought it might have crossed the line, but I think as I have my eyes on it, it's confirmed that it did stay out. Yeah, Burnsville is, and I'll say they're tough. Like I just said, I mean, they are tough. Gives Fitzgerald a forearm shiver. Trying to get to the front, puts on the brakes, centering pass, loose, whacked at. Burnsville trying to hold it in. Nice job by Morgan to punch it out. Misplayed, and Morgan's almost able to come away with it. Carter grabs it, she'll dump, she'll get off on a change. Forster, past her stick, shoot gathering, shoot, over to Nelson, Nelson up to Morgan. Morgan's gas, she can't get the pass. So she should have got off on the dump. Nelson tossed it up, coming back the other way. Nice stick there by Sauter, shot, goal. The 35W massacre. Right? The 35W collision. That was a nice play by Nelson. Able to touch that up near neutral ice. Not a nice play previously where she lost a puck and Burnsville scored, but they close, they're fast.
Can't get anything going on.
Yeah, they're, you know, we won't beat it to death tonight, but it's a good hockey team. And when they've had a chance to finish, they have in a lot of instances, right? I mean, they've not only had the opportunity, you know, we've had defensive breakdowns, we've had girls, you know, that have gotten behind us, but when they've had an opportunity, they're picking a corner. I think it's 2 or 3 bar downs?
All of them.
Yeah, I mean, they could save those. You could put 3 parents in net along with Lydia, and those are still going in. Well, I mean, they're just, it's impressive. It's not impressive that we're letting them get in the area to take those shots, but you know, how many times do we see any girl at this level just go right to the butt from those spots? Heinen now chasing. We've got just over 10. I mean, it's 5-1, but I still think, again, if you get the next one, yeah, he's still fighting. You try to get the next one. 5-2, and then you try to get the next one after that. No. Nice collection there by Hoffman. Hoffman now tired, as is Heinen, so they get off. Nice play by Fitzgerald to create a little havoc on the far boards. Allows Morgan to give chase in the corner. Sauter coming over as well. Shoot on a deep pinch. shoves that back in the way of Morgan. Burnsville now coming away with it. Sauter comes over and pokes it back to the point, but just gets out. Shoot will regroup.
Like that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Nice hold there. Shot. Wide into the corner. Burnsville now far boards, trying to come away with it and getting it out, and that'll stay in for Helfrich to take a swing at it. Nice play there, and if that gal wasn't tired, that would have been a little alley-oop. Well, I will say that this is the type of game that they're going to see tomorrow night with this speed. Obviously, I mean, we know that team. We've played them 3 times. They've beat us 3 times by a combined score of, what, 14-2? Was it 4-1, 4-1, 6 rip? Or 6-1, 4-0, 4-1? Shoot now, entering, looking, centering, and it just goes through some traffic. High fly ball near the top of the circle, and Burnsville's now going to be able to come away with it. They will have a 2-on-2. Nice play by Hoffman to get back and poke the puck loose. Sweets are now into the corner. That goes wide. Nice play by McGarvey to barely get a stick on it, so there's no ice. Picked up by Heinmiller. Heinmiller shot, pad, save. Loose near the paint. Heinen takes a whack at it, goes into the corner. Heinen fighting. Allison with the shot, stick to the corner. That goalie's, I mean, that's not the crazy difficult. I mean, it was kind of a fluttering slap shot, but she has the technique down to where she knows where that puck should be sent. And it's sent with authority. 6:58 remaining. Still third period. I'm trying to think. Any close calls in the third period? That one where I think Gia thought it might have went in, but it didn't. So I don't think we've had really anything to write home about offensively. See if we can change that here. 6.5 left. I think Burnsville's clock operator said, "Hey, you guys want extra time on the clock?" And I think Heinen said, "No, thanks." I think so. We're good. I mean, it's not a coach-controlled scrimmage, so this game counts in the on the rankings. I mean, Burnsville put it up. Burnsville entered that sucker. Right? By the time I get in the car, that'll be entered. And who else comes away with it? By Sauter. Sauter now trying to get to the net. And that's covered up. And that's a very late whack. And in a boys' game, she would have paid for it. They let Fitzgerald get away with that one a little bit. Or a few girl players that we played against so far would have laid the lumber, but good to see because it wasn't overly aggressive. It was just kind of a little late stab. Puck loose now. That's saved, pad, and we're going to have a 1-on-2. Nice play there. Nice save there. She had that puck pop loose, kicked it to her stick with her skate. I wonder who that girl was. Wrap around attempt. Nothing there. Five and a half remaining. Little sloppy play from Burnsville. Allows shoot to wind. That's tipped by a Burnsville player and goes wide. That hit the middle of her stick. Garvey throws it down low. Morgan's tired. You know what? We're going to need Morgan's legs tomorrow. Hopefully they recover because she looks pretty tired out there. I mean, she should be. I mean, she's hustling her butt off. Save a little bit for tomorrow night. .420 remaining. I didn't say that on purpose. It was really 4:20 on the clock. Yeah, I'm surprised. I looked at Burnsville's record as Hoffman gives a little shot attempt. It was like 18-7 and like 5 or something like that. I looked at the opponents. You know, they haven't had the Minnetonkas and the Andovers and the Centennials and the Alexandrias. I think they had Rosemount 2 or 3 times. They had Park Cottage Grove a couple times. Lakeville. You know, so nobody would be like, oh wow, that was a big win. But in the now rankings, which is an algorithm which you don't put much stock in, you know, they were right behind us by a few spots. So I guess you can put a little stock into it because they show they absolutely, if you want to have, you know, any interest in, you know, how accurate those now rankings are as far as what the quality of the team is. I mean, it's spot on. I mean, actually, if you watch tonight's game, you would think that this is one of the top 10 teams in the state. You know, given that in the staff rankings, Edina is 3. I didn't see the rankings didn't come out today. We might have dropped, but you know, you would have thought that. Well, okay, let's say we are 3. You would have definitely thought this is a top 10 team. Because I mean, listen, when you lose or when you're losing 5-1, I mean that's an ass kick. You know, 3-1 hockey games. I mean, 5-1 would be, you know, like probably a 20-point, 25-point game in the NBA. Well, we're 21-8 and 6 or something like that, but 3 of our losses are to Tonka, 1's to Woodbury, so 4 of our losses are to the top 2 teams in the state. 1's to Centennial, which is a top 10 team, and then you know, we dropped a contest to Prior Lake. We dropped a contest, a shootout to Orono. So on paper, we look fantastic. You know, we drop 1 or 2 and tie a few that we probably, you know, shouldn't, but the losses that we do have, half of them are to the top 2 teams in the state, which there is quite a bit of separation between the top 2 and everybody else. And by separation, I mean, you know, a 2 or 3 goal separation. Morgan now trying to catch Burnsville change. She's coming in with some speed. Winds, shot, and that's deflected. Trying to get it back to the point area. That goes through a Burnsville skater. Shoot backhands that back into the corner for Morgan to chase with under 6 remaining. Morgan now playing it down to McGarvey. McGarvey trying to get it back to the point. That's collected by Burnsville. Is they're going to get an exit. Neutral ice battle. Forster there digging. Nice job by Forster. McGarvey over to Morgan. Morgan now, repeat of moments ago. Winds. This time it's not deflected, and the goaltender puts that into the glove. Yeah, the toe drag gave her the slot, right? The toe drag gave her the room to shoot the puck. She didn't use that early in the season. She had it, I'm sure, but this is something that she's brought out recently.
In the last 5 minutes.
Yep. Shot, and that's wiped to the corner. Nice play by Nelson. Didn't just get it off her stick right away, collected it, so it eventually gets to Hoffman, who winds. That goes wide. Peter was working on that with her a couple practices ago. Got Williamson. Over to Nelson. Nelson to Heinen. Heinen was fighting 4. Nice stick there by Sauter. Oh, picks the pocket. It's like when you're at the mall and you bump into somebody and you realize your wallet's gone. It's like it was that guy at Burger King. I know it was that guy at Burger King. And he even said, "Excuse me," while he did it. There's some pros out there. You got to be careful. Three and a half remaining, and it looks like Burnsville is going to come out with a new 5. Edina will do the same. Running time, as they're probably trying to stay on schedule. Tell you what, if it was at Braemar, it would be running time. We'd be trying to get back in this thing. All joking aside, obviously, with 1 goal thus far, it's statistically unlikely that we would rattle off 4 unanswered. But if we could get the last one, that's important. Shot, save, rebound. Right back to the point and just out. God, they got some quick ones.
I probably should have looked at the walls before I was asking who they were.
Well, but that's high school though.
Yeah, but
Right. I mean, yeah.
I feel like it sort of follows some of that.
Yep, yep, you're right. Egan, I mean, Shakopee and Bloomington are co-op, obviously, so they've played them a couple times.
Right, so
You know, they are part of Apple Valley, so 2 of the schools up there are on the ice. Get up to Bryn. There you go. Over to Heinen. Shot. Stick to the corner. It was a nice play. It was a little slow to materialize. You're right. End up getting there. Oh, dang. Backhands that into the corner. Minute 45 remaining. Sweetser coming over. Punches that back into the corner. Nice play by Sweetser to hold it in with their skates, and that'll go off Sweetser's stick. Nelson back to group. Over to Hoffman. Hoffman throws it on, past the stick on net. Goaltender lets her D continue play. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, not at all. No, not at all. Goal. Yeah, sometimes you're like, well, gosh, I hope we get these guys again. I don't know if we want to play these guys again. Well, I mean, we do. We would love to get another shot at them. Tell you what, you want to scrimmage a team to get ready for districts?
yeah, right.
They're right down 35. We want to get ready. This good goaltender. I mean, not really tested tonight, but seems solid. And obviously, 10 of the girls. I'm not saying all 10 are ones to watch, but 8, you know. 10 seconds left, and that's going to do it. And the Go Start the Bus chant is loud from the Burnsville faithful. We will see you tomorrow. Well, Ann will. I will not. I will be watching from somewhere else.